you all basically eat, with your hands and
Well,
That's
taste,
fabulous. Where's it at?
I don't know.
Let's do.
It's funny you say that, but the movie The Hammer about Matt Hamill, they cast a deaf actor to play that role, and it was a big deal amongst the deaf community that they actually cast a real deaf person.
Did he hear that? Did he hear about it? How did he hear about it? No.
He is an idiot. You think I'm kidding when I call him an idiot?
I love Matt. That was a cheap joke. That was dumb.
It was, and I don't mind. Oh, let me turn this mic off. Let me tell you a quick Matt Hamill story that makes me sound like an idiot, but people already know I am. So it was at a fan expo, and they're all up at the booths and they're all signing, and I'm talking to Matt. Okay, we're talking now. Again, to clarify, Matt Hamill was deaf because he can now hear. I don't know if you know that.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
I mean, he's got those hearing aids.
It's something brand new, and for the first time, he's heard his
voice
child and stuff. So we're talking, and then he goes to go get back to signing the autographs. And I didn't really look. I didn't really notice. But I said, and he turned his head to the left, and I'm to his right. I'm like, all right, Matt, take care. I'll talk to you later. And whoever I was with is like, you are Matt McClellan. And we didn't even know Matt McClellan.
Okay, but if you're talking about rules, and they change with time, but it's only at the time. If he goes to compete again, can he compete in the Special Olympics in wrestling or in MMA as a deaf or hearing impaired athlete if he can now hear?
I don't think the hearing aids would change anything.
No.
Really? His status wouldn't change?
Well, it's like the runner, with the metal.
Prosthetic?
Yeah. Well,
the bionic?
But and ostensibly he probably wouldn't be wearing the hearing aids during a deaf competition.
Well, even if it wasn't a deaf competition, you're not going to wear
Special Olympics.
Right.
Yeah.
But he could be in the Special Olympics if he can hear.
He can't hear. He can't hear.
Well, he can now with technology.
With technology, and if he takes them out, he can't
so
hear.
if he gets a Neuralink, what if he gets a brain chip?
Oh my goodness! What if aliens come down and abduct you right now?
Could they
take you into a spaceship?
They want my hair. They're always after the hair.
Well, maybe if we paid somebody, we could get that done.
I have a true question, real question, not joke.
All right, go for it.
So if a person donates their hair, if it's long enough to donate to charity, Locks of Love, to support people that are going through cancer treatments and give them wigs, and that person commits a crime, what's called murder, and the hair's left at the scene. I'm just saying, who you donate to.
That's almost a legit.
Yes, it is.
I don't want to give you any credit ever.
That's a good one. You're right.
It truly is, because the DNA from the hair would be that DNA.
Yep.
Wow. I'm going to write into not NC Law and Order, because they do all of those things.
That's right.
That would be.
Speaking of Law and Order, Gary Sinise is halfway through building a veteran home in Parrish. It was on the news the other day. They're halfway done. They're going to give it to a Marine who needs a home, and they're building him a new one. Gary Sinise will be in town, and they're going to sign the wall or the door for all the people that were behind the initiative. They invited people to come down. So I think we should go and show our support for Gary, because he was great on the show. And,
you're thinking of CSI, not Law and Order, but yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, I don't watch TV.
I meant Law and Order, because that's what I watch.
No. I'm talking about. He said, speaking of Law and Order, Gary Sinise.
But a guy like Sinise has been in like everything, man. That guy's like,
Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah.
But he's a great actor. Oh, one of the
great person.
Yeah.
Everything that he's done, the comedy stuff that he's done, and a big stand-up. I'll reach out to him. Do you want to go? You and I and Austin can go. We'll set that up.
Austin's going to be at a crime scene looking for Locks of Love patients. We got to line up. Okay, Randy's eyesight's not good. We got to line them up. Put the hairs in the color chart. Like light to dark.
Yeah, we're gonna cast him in a TV show as a police officer. That's what you're saying. We're going to cast him. I'm going to play a police officer too.
I feel like a yacht captain today with my outfit on.
I have played a police officer.
Have you?
Yeah. That was my role in the 2 episodes of Sequest.
Is it scary?
No, it's like calling a fight a war. No, I'm not going to get shot at.
I had a scary situation happen this week.
I don't care.
I don't think I can talk about it on air.
Good. Well, then don't.
Let me ask the 3 people involved. Does anybody here, and raise your hand, do you want to hear a story from that? Good. It doesn't count as 2.
Clearly,
he raises 2 hands and think it counts as 2 votes.
Well, I clearly won that one.
You did win that one, Matt. Back to the coach that we just had on. James. Oh, there's there's a lot of commotion in the booth next to us. There is a professional player making an appearance over there. I'm not sure which one it is, but he is wearing a green jacket.
Oh,
So does that mean?
that's my color.
Is it green? Isn't that Masters champion?
Yeah.
So whoever's there has won the Masters at one point in his career, but I'm not sure who.
You would hope.
Yeah.
You would hope, but I'm just saying
that nobody would wear a green jacket to a PGA event without actually being a champion.
I know somebody sitting at this table that would do it.
Yeah,
so,
me too.
all right, let's go hit a break because when we come back, we're going to talk about Huey Lewis going in the People's Hall of Fame. Caleb Chapman will be on when we return. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong, Staff Zone, and Bucked Up Energy Drink.
Hey, this is David Green, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
I'm very excited to announce that Knockout Radio finally has our very own Challenge Coin, thanks to Challenge Coin Country. Challenge Coin Country is a family-run business with over 17 years' experience making custom challenge coins, lapel pins, bottle openers, keychains, and many other custom products. They even produced 2 different variations for us, one for military recipients and a slightly different coin for civilians. I strongly suggest you check them out at challengecoincountry.com with free express shipping, and they proudly offer discounts for first responders and military as well. That's Challenge Coin Country at challengecoincountry.com.
Conveniently located in Pinellas Park, Cool Breeze AC is just one phone call away. Reach them at 727-954-3605. And their highly skilled and knowledgeable technicians will be at your service 24/7, ensuring your ultimate comfort all year round.
This is Randy Harris for Mick for Hair at Got Split End Salon in Pinellas Park, our official hair care and grooming provider who caters to everyone, women, men, kids, and senior citizens in an affordable, upscale environment staffed with the most talented professionals in the business. Visit Mick for Hair at Got Split Ends today at 4376 Park Boulevard in Pinellas Park, or call them at 727-290-9873.
You're hungry. Where do you go to eat?
Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
You want to have a drink? Where do you go?
Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Having a get-together with the guys from the softball team? Where do you do it?
That's right, Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Located at 1320 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, right across from Tropicana Field. Berg's is the best place to take the whole family for food and fun. Going to a Rays game? Have dinner before the game at Berg's, and after the Rays win, come and celebrate with all your friends at Berg's, right across from the Trop. So come down and see Berg and the whole gang at Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
Hi, this is Todd Washington, and you're listening to Talking Sports with Randy Harris.
All right, we are back coming to you live from the Orange County Convention Center, the PGA show. A lot of cool stuff going on here. We're going to continue for the next couple hours. Next week back at the Cool Breeze AC broadcast facility. The week after, all week broadcasting at Super Bowl in New Orleans. But right now, we've been talking about it. The People's Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Huge news. Wow, I didn't even mean to do that. Huge news and Huey Lewis. Let's welcome to the program Caleb Chapman. Caleb, how are you, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you? I'm not going to be at the Super Bowl, though, so I'm definitely not as fit as you are.
Well, why don't you? It's New Orleans. Come meet us out there.
Oh, geez, I should. New Orleans is one of my absolute favorite cities. I love hanging out there.
Well, maybe later you can tell me all the restaurants I need to go to because food is number one. Well, really number two. Number one is a legend, Huey Lewis, going into the People's Music Hall of Fame. First, talk about what that is. What is the People's Music Hall of Fame?
Yeah, well, the People's Music Hall of Fame, it's brand new. We're launching it. My longtime friend and partner in crime, Adam Reeder, who's known to the World Wide Web as the Professor of Rock. He's got well over 1 million followers on YouTube. We've been talking for years about how there are so many incredible artists that have impacted music, provided the soundtrack of our lives that really haven't received the recognition that we think they deserve. And Huey Lewis is definitely one of them. And so, our plans over the next 5 to 10 years are to actually build a People's Music Hall of Fame in Salt Lake City with exhibits, a concert hall, all of that. And it's just to honor and celebrate some of the greatest musicians of our time. And Huey Lewis certainly fits the bill on that. We couldn't think of anybody better to kick it off. And so coming up on February 7th, we're having our first induction in the People's Music Hall of Fame. And Huey Lewis, he's number one on our list, and he's going to be there, and we're going to celebrate his incredible career.
Can you talk about the process? I mean, who made the decision? Is it a team? Is it, rock and roll legends? Is it media? Who determines the list? Because I've always wondered that about any Hall of Fame. And I love the choice, Huey Lewis. With the announcement just yesterday of the Pro Baseball Hall of Fame, I call that the Hall of Pretty Good because there's pretty good players in there along with legends. So you starting with Huey Lewis, is unbelievable. But talk us through the process.
Yeah, well, I have, really been impressed by Adam Reeder and his wealth of knowledge about everything to do with popular music over the last 100 years. And, he approached me with this idea several years ago, and now that's coming to fruition. This first year, we put together a board, and that board met, and we really tried to, for this first year, base it on impact, and when you look at Huey Lewis, he had 2 back-to-back albums with 4 or more hits in the top 10. He's one of the very few artists that have ever done that. And, you just think about that period in the 80s, and Huey Lewis and the News, their music was absolutely everywhere. And so, it was really kind of, when we started this year, that initial board and panel that discussed who we would honor this first year, we made a list of artists that their numbers, their sales numbers, the impact, their influence on contemporary music, there was actually a pretty good list. You'd be surprised of how many artists that are, so essential to what has become pop culture over the last 50 to 100 years, really haven't received their due. And so that's how it was, we came to that decision this year. We voted with that internal committee. We would like to truly make it a People's Music Hall of Fame where the public is going to have a vote in it. I'm a member of the recording, foundation. I vote for Grammys each year, and it is industry insiders, right? It's critics, it's artists, it's things like that. That's not what this is. This is the People's Music Hall of Fame. We want people to celebrate, recognize their favorite musicians, the people that really have made their lives better and made our culture better. So that's the whole point of this.
I grew up a little bit past the Huey Lewis, like on the top. I was a little bit younger. I was more Michael Jackson, Prince era, but my father was a huge Huey fan, and I grew up listening in the car, in the truck, driving around town, but
that's called, just so you know, just to interrupt, that's called The Power of Love.
Or parenting. But I remember I got a new drug song, and And the I Got a New Drug song was basically saying something, if I recall from 35 years ago, was, about the new high and the new rush. And now what we know about neuroscience, it's that dopamine and trying new things. And I think Huey Lewis could be bigger now in the future as a mental health aid to help people go back and heal from some of the self-sabotaging drugs and the neurotoxins and things they did to themselves during that era. And I think he could be the biggest star of the 2025.
Well, that tune, I Want a New Drug, one of his biggest hits. And that'll be, one of the tunes we're playing among 20 others celebrating his career at this event. But, he came out and said, this song isn't about drugs. This song is about love, which is the real drug that delivers all the things that everybody's looking for, in drugs, illegal drugs. And he said the song is about love is the answer. You're absolutely right. I mean, it's absolutely more relevant today than ever. But, when we were deciding in that committee who we wanted to recognize, it was not only artists that had really had a huge impact in their career, but artists whose music was timeless. And, in my career here in Utah, I work with hundreds of the most talented young musicians on the planet. And, that's who is going to be celebrating this music at this event is close to 200 ridiculously talented young musicians playing the music of Huey Lewis. And, what makes Huey's music great, like you were saying, is kids today are just as familiar with his tunes and love it just as much as people back in the 80s, maybe your dad or whatever. By the way, don't think it got past me that you just called me old, but that's okay. That's okay. We can still be friends. Who doesn't know the music from Back to the Future, Back in Time, The Power of Love, those songs, they could have been written today. They could have been written 20 years ago, It's timeless music, and we're so excited to get to celebrate the genius of Huey at this event.
Well, speaking of mental health awareness, I know that the Sound Support Foundation is near and dear to your heart, and your wife Tommy is also involved. And you guys are taking music and using music to sort of bring mental awareness to younger people. Is that right? Is that the mission?
That's absolutely right. Yeah, we our mission with the Sound Support Foundation is to use excellence in music performance to train excellence in life performance and mental health and everything that comes along with that. Growing up, I was passionate about playing sports. That was my entire life, and you guys already know the benefit of athletic training on youth. Music training, same thing, right? It does so many great things, but what I found that typical music training left out was the performance aspect. And so what we've been doing for a couple decades now is working with young musicians, not only on developing skills as musicians, but skills as performers. And when you couple those two things together, the confidence that it gives these kids there's just nothing like it. We take kids from our community here in Salt Lake City and play all over the globe for literally thousands and thousands of people. And to see a kid that's 10 years old, 13 years old, 15 years old stand up in front of a crowd of 10,000 people with absolutely no fear and complete confidence, I can tell you those kids are not going to be struggling with the mental health issues that are really just running rampant through our society right now due to, what we've challenged, the challenges we face with social media, screen time, the lack of social interaction, all those things. And so, we just love what music training can do for these kids, and it's tied directly to our efforts with the People's Music Hall of Fame. This is going to be our centerpiece fundraising event every year. All the funds from this event go directly to support music education, not just in Utah, but nationally.
Caleb, let me ask you this question, because I argue with a lot of people on this. And if you disagree with me, then maybe I'll change my opinion. But up till now, I stand very strong on this. So we are heavily involved in combat sports. I have the longest running UFC/MMA show in the country, covered the UFC longer than anyone in the world, blah, 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 blah. I argue constantly that they have, it's called a fight wing. So they put a fight in the Hall of Fame. Major pro baseball, there's bats and gloves and balls. Pete Rose has all these items in the Hall of Fame. He's not in the Hall of Fame, just his items. Right. So I argue with everyone, and some of these fighters are my closest friends. And I blatantly say, you are not a Hall of Famer. Your fight is in the Hall of Fame. I'm curious your opinion. I mean, there's two sides. Obviously, I'm got mine, but I'm curious, what would yours be on that? So if you put memorabilia in the People's Hall of Fame, does that make that person a Hall of Famer?
Man, that's a great question. On my side, I'm not, I think the purpose of a Hall of Fame is to celebrate performances, artists that really deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, And so I would not be putting any memorabilia on display that was not directly tied to somebody of Hall of Fame caliber. The whole Pete Rose thing, that's its own debate, right? I mean, that's its whole own. I don't even want to wade into that one. But I will say this. I'm probably not even going to directly answer your question, so that I apologize.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm not going to give you a definitive answer. I'd want to think about that for a minute. But here's what is going to make the People's Music Hall of Fame very different from other Halls of Fame in other areas, in that the centerpiece of the People's Music Hall of Fame, as we construct it over the next 5 to 10 years, is not going to be the memorabilia. And to your point, we're talking about, it's the performances that are worthy of being in the Hall of Fame. And so the actual focal point of the institution is going to be a performance hall. And we want it to be a living, breathing performance center where great concerts are happening, where it's living. You're not going to get, of course, I've been to the Baseball Hall of Fame. I've been to the NBA Hall of Fame. You don't get to go there and watch them play games. That would be awesome. People's Music Hall of Fame, people are going to get to come and actually watch the legends perform. And even better, they're going to get to watch the next generation perform music and carrying forward everything that's happened and moving it into the next generation.
Taking my question just a little bit further so I can throw myself under the bus. Not every person in the Hall of Fame is a Hall of Famer, because I was just inducted into the Florida MMA Hall of Fame. Mike is in the New Jersey MMA Hall of Fame. So, yeah, they put some non-Hall of Famers in the Hall of Fame, that's for sure.
No. Nobody's buying that. Nobody's buying that. I can't think of a better definition of Hall of Famers than you guys. So, no, you're not going to convince me on that one.
All right, so Randy, I've been with Randy a long time. He knows 8 years ago, Huey Lewis in the News on Facebook posted with 810 reactions, I want a new drug. I love the title. Love the ... I know it's called the Fountain of Youth. And so, Randy, the freedom is the fountain of youth. It's the universe is coming together today. It's all about mental health and helping people and honoring Huey and the music. And it's going to change the world, man.
Caleb, before we let you go, how can people help not only the People's Hall of Fame, what you're about to do, but help your foundation as well?
Well, thanks for giving me that opportunity to share that before we wrap up here. So, first off, again, the most important thing to us right now is on this event, getting to celebrate Huey Lewis. We're so excited. His fans are excited. We are getting close. The event is almost completely sold out. We have people flying in from all over the country Because, to be able to hear from Huey and then to get a whole night of all of Huey Lewis's biggest hits. And one thing we didn't mention on this interview yet is that, Huey will be doing an interview that night as part of the concert as well, and talking about his music, his legacy, his career. And then we've got some fantastic celebrities joining us, along with 200 super talented, crazy talented young musicians that night. We've got the lead singer of multi-platinum Neon Trees, Tyler Glenn, who's going to be sitting in for Huey Lewis on a couple tunes. We've got members of the Blues Brothers, the Doobie Brothers joining us on stage. It's going to be an incredible night of music. So if people want to join us for that concert, there's still a few tickets left, and would encourage you to come into Utah, check it out. It's going to be an incredible night. And you can get tickets by going to our website at soundsupport.org. And then also, if you want to support music education, mental health through music performance training, something that we found is incredibly powerful, gets some fantastic results setting kids up for excellence in life. You can support that cause as well at that same website, soundsupport.org. There's a donate now button there, and every dollar goes directly to those scholarship funds. So it's a great charity, it's a great event, and we're so grateful to you guys for giving us a minute to talk about the legend Huey today, and this exciting opportunity we have to honor him.
Give me the date again.
The date, February 7th, 2025, and right in Salt Lake City, Utah. The venue's just a few minutes from the airport, most spectacular venue in the state of Utah, 3,000 seats, incredible sound. It's going to be an amazing evening.
I'll give you a holler later today or tomorrow. There may be some people flying in from Tampa.
Or driving.
All right. Well, it's going to be, it will definitely be worth the trip. I absolutely guarantee you that.
Caleb, sir, thank you very much for your time. If you need us for anything, count on us. We would love to be involved and have a fantastic day.
Hey, thanks so much, guys. And just for what it's worth, you're absolutely in my Hall of Fame as well. So, thanks so much, guys.
Take care. That is Caleb Chapman. Check them out at Sound Support Foundation. I'm going to look into it. I know that's Friday.
He dropped the L word.
We're already leaving New Orleans on Friday. Maybe we leave a little bit earlier.
And I got the new drug, baby. Let's go.
I got a drug, and it's killing me. It's called you. All right, let's go hit a break. Coming to you live from the Orange County Convention Center. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong, Staff Zone, and Bucked Up Energy Drink.
When I think back on all the crap.
Hey, yo, this is Ricky Waters, and you're listening to Talking Sports with Randy Harris.
Ready to take charge of your day? Bucked Up Energy Drinks are taking over the energy drink market. Find them at Walmart, Publix, GNC, and Vitamin Shop. Real energy and real focus. Get bucked up.
Roasted Whisk Gift Box Company is an online specialty gift box company specializing in corporate gifting, creating a fun and unique gifting experience for your clients, vendors, or employees. Gift boxes could include specialty coffees or teas, mugs, espresso-infused baked goods, scented candles, and many more options. Check us out at roastedwhisk.com. Roasted Whisk on all social platforms.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
Experience the charming Country Depot gift shop located in the heart of downtown Brooksville, located at 36 North Broad Street. From sports memorabilia to antiques, from handbags to one-of-a-kind art and decor, the Country Depot has it all. Check them out at countrydepot.com, Country Depot on Facebook, or stop by the store at 36 North Broad Street in downtown Brooksville. Got bills and looking for work but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast. Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
Hi, I'm James Lofton, and you know who you are on the other side of the dial, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris.
All right, we are back coming to you live from the Orange County Convention Center. Good stuff with Caleb.
Yeah.
And do I need to turn your mic on now? God, I really wanted to leave it off as long as possible. I'm going to look into it.
Yeah, it sounds like a great event.
The only problem is I got a tag along with me.
I know.
We're going to deliver the Fountain of Youth to Huey Lewis.
Well, we ain't doing anything. You're going to be on the plane back to Tampa.
Bring the news with them.
And I'm going to go hang out with Huey Lewis and the news and Caleb and 200 phenomenal youngsters.
That's right.
And performing, and the lead singer from Neon Trees.
Well, you know, what's interesting about that, it's, you know, and I don't really like the People's Choice Awards. I think they're gratuitous. You know, when you watch them on TV and, you know, Denzel Washington is going to show up for the People's Choice Awards. But this is a little different because this has a charitable connection to it. You know what I mean? It's not just for the sake of honoring the beautiful people yet again, which, you know, Hollywood is really good at.
I shake my head, and I'm not big into music. I got more into it with our previous partner in crime and et cetera, and enjoy it a whole lot more for different reasons. But if you look at least the past couple of years that I've been aware of,
that guy's wearing
and I was
green jacket,
and I was supposed to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for Cheap Trick. How are some of these people, whether you like them or not in the Hall of Fame? It's like the guy, he's from the Bronx, the 50s, not Paul Anka, Neil Sedaka. How is Neil Sedaka not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? How does it take Kiss or Ozzy Osbourne or legends in their genre to not be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
I mean, there's only enough room. I mean, how much room is there?
I understand that.
How big is the Rock and Roll Hall
Well,
of Fame?
they rotate stuff in and out. So it's not even the point of necessarily having memorabilia. It's having the name that they are a Hall of Famer.
Right, but
Matt
I mean,
thinks he's a Hall of Famer.
they've got the Songwriters Hall of Fame, and there's so many different halls of fame for music and for celebrity, I should say.
Who would be your music Hall of Famer?
I would put in.
Serious.
Seriously? Kanye West. Or, Kanye could be up there. Right now, I'm digging on Lupe Fiasco.
Who?
Lupe Fiasco. Biggie Smalls.
Who's the first thing?
I mean, most of the people that I love are already in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The Eagles.
I got it. Well, and I wasn't asking who's in the Hall of Fame. I'm asking who is your go-to. Who is, you go to start to work or anything. No.
Come on, let me see. I got to get closer.
You mean my music go-to?
I got to get in frame.
I mean, it depends on what I'm doing. If I'm writing, I listen to classical music.
I have an answer for you.
I don't care.
I have your answer. It's DaBaby and Roddy Ricch, Rockstar. And if you watch the video, they show where he does the slam for the movie character part of the video. He gets a concussion. So it shows that they're just playing.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
Hold on. So DaBaby.
I have no idea.
DaBaby. Not Lil Baby, Lilbaby. DaBaby. And Roddy Ricch have a song called Rockstar. And in that, they make a little skit out in the woods, and he gets slammed on a mattress for the video production. And he hits his head so hard, his real personality came out, and they air it.
There's too many fights. But what's his name? Makachev is just really good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and I like to always look at how our guests do. Mm-hmm. And do you see how our guest did?
Moicano?
He, no, Banal.
Oh, I didn't see that fight.
Yeah.
That's the one fight I didn't see.
Well, I'll tell you what, I would be amazed if you did see it.
Because it wasn't on.
Because it was canceled.
Right.
And so he got win, he got show,
good thing I didn't try to.
We'll go to the expert.
That you didn't try to pull him out and BS. Yeah, I saw it, and I thought he looked phenomenal.
No, I didn't see it.
Well, he looked phenomenal because he cashed 2 checks.
Wow, good for him.
And his opponent moved up because there was a replacement,
right?
On the title fight. So.
No disrespect. No disrespect at all.
They always say this, that whenever you start it with no disrespect intended, it's disrespectful.
Yes.
Right. No disrespect.
To who?
To any of the combat sport fighters, to any MMA fighter. But Huey Lewis said it best. It's a drug. It's the addictive. You get the dopamine, and then you don't get the same high, and it doesn't register the same. The UFC doesn't build up the fights like they did back when Chuck Liddell. They had the months and months. You got really behind a fighter in an area of the country that they're from, and you vibe with that. Now there's so many fighters, you don't know who they are. So it's a new drug. You got to get a new drug, Dana. He needs a new drug. I got a new drug for him. Freedom.
Okay. So anyway.
Luckily, it's break time.
Yeah.
If there's one way to shut them up, it's go to a break. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8-Man Strong, Staff Zone, and Bucked Up Energy Drink.
This is Chuck Knoll, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris.
Got bills and looking for work but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
Ready to take charge of your day? Bucked Up Energy Drinks are taking over the energy drink market. Find them at Walmart, Publix, GNC, and Vitamin Shop. Real energy and real focus. Get bucked up.
8-Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8-Man Strong.
Yo, this is Phil Baroni, the New York Badass from the UFC. And you're listening to Talk Sports with Randy Harris.
It's the MIBs. Here come the MIBs. Here come the men in black. They won't let you remember.
All right, we are back coming to you live from the Orange County Orange County Convention Center. I think a week or two, right? We don't have a UFC this week. Some big ones are coming up. The Sean Strickland is coming up.
That's right.
Anya Sanya's coming up.
Izzy's coming up. That's right. I'm still really psyched. I know we talked about bare knuckle, but I'm still really psyched about this fight this weekend. I think it's going to be great. I just love Eddie Alvarez and Jeremy Stevens. It's a great matchup. And in a bare knuckle setting, the only problem is I miss when my MMA fighters go into strictly boxing.
I don't know if I hate it.
I don't hate it. I just don't. Yeah, I think that boxing and MMA is overrated. We like it when they stand and bang, but if you look at the actual skill of a boxer, it's really they're few and far between.
I got to give you credit. I give credit when credit's due. I totally forgot, even though I have. I've bought 3 shirts that I can remember MMA related. The Ryan Bennett Memorial from Warrior Wear. I bought a. I can't even think of his name now. Anderson Silva, and the one that you just talked about, the Conor McGregor. So I do have those 3, and I totally forgot about that. That's going to be, Jeremy Stevens there with Conor McGregor from back in the day, and with you bringing it up and Feldman saying it's going to be addressed, something's going to happen, on Friday. It makes me want to, and Austin's going to be upset because he thinks he's going to, the weigh-ins on Friday. As much as the weigh-ins will be cool, hanging with Russell Peters, I think, is going to be our number 1 on Friday. But, that could be an ordeal.
I'm not going, even though I wasn't even invited.
No, neither was Matt.
Can we just highlight for a second that with the new inauguration taking place on Monday, can we just talk about Dana White being behind Barack Obama and George Bush?
You can't make this up.
Can we talk about Colby Covington and John Jones? We even have a Canadian, a guy they call GSP. It's so good to be an American now that Canadians are coming back. Bro, we got our GOAT back.
Well,
we didn't deserve him either.
We'll see how all that plays out when all these tariffs and stuff are added on. There's going to be a tariff on Canadians coming to the country. So I don't know about that, but you're right. Seeing Dana there, seeing him up on the podium, and what was really funny is we were watching some of it, and I made a comment about Barron. I mean, Barron's about 19 feet tall.
Yeah, he got in the cage.
So
long reach.
But I made the comment to my wife only because my son told me this. I did not know it. Was that Donald Trump owes Barron a great deal on being reelected.
Yeah.
If you're
social media.
If you're going to direct, the praise to anyone that got Donald Trump elected, of all the people that did stuff, it was his son Barron, who told him, and we've talked about this before, who told him you have to go do Joe Rogan, who told him you have to go do whatever the boys are,
The Nelk boys.
Yeah, I mean, I don't listen to any
now
of that
there's
stuff.
something going on there.
Hold on one sec.
Controversy.
But as soon as I said all of that, and she looked at me like, come on, that's when Donald said it. When he was introducing it, and he said, and my son Barron, who, talked me into Joe Rogan, and I'm like, I looked like I knew what I was talking about.
So do you know who Steve Will Do It is? He's one of Dana's gambling buddies, blonde-haired kid, always wears a sleeveless shirt.
I don't.
Gifts out exotic cars and watches like they're candy. But that's one of Dana's inner circle. Now that Dana's on the meta board, apparently the Nelk boys can't film content per YouTube with Steve Will Do It in it. So I don't know. Is Steve now on the Meta side, on the Facebook side, the Zuckerberg, a Jitsu guy? Like, this new America is here, Randy, and they're taking the principles from the combat sport world, specifically the UFC, about being strong and capable and disciplined to control it, but warriors in a garden and building this country back brick by brick. And that's you, men. That's us, men. This is our time to shine. And it was great to see the influence of MMA at the inauguration this year.
I agree that it was great to see MMA represented at the inauguration.
More than any other sport.
And, Randy, you and I go back a long way when it comes to UFC. And Dana White has always said it, even back in the day, back in UFC,
33.
Yeah, and he was saying, we're going to be bigger than the NFL. And you're like, yeah, okay, Dana, okay.
And they still won't be.
Right.
I don't see that.
But if he said, I'll be at the inauguration of a president, I would have said, no way.
Let me correct my comment before people correct me. Let me do it. The UFC will never be bigger than the NFL. Never will be bigger than the NFL in the United States. If you want to say that MMA, the UFC is going to be bigger around the world than the NFL, I don't know if I could argue that. I don't know. With the NFL expanding, they go into Brazil like they just did. They go to Europe now. Germany is the home of the Bucks and all that kind of stuff. Maybe that's going to, combat that. But the UFC is not bigger in the United States, but it could be bigger in the world.
Yeah, just like soccer is bigger in the world, but not in the U.S.
Well, yeah, soccer is the biggest in the world.
Right.
And we're going to go start hanging out with rugby. I'm pretty excited about that. I didn't even know that there were rugby teams in the States.
They're club teams, aren't they? Are they more club, like local?
No, there's a
teams?
professional league.
Yeah, no, it's professional.
7-on-7s? Like
it's not, which stinks when I was speaking to somebody about it. 7-on-7. Have you ever seen 7-on-7? I like rugby.
Yeah.
But the regular rugby with 11, I can do without. 7-on-7, it's high scoring. It can be high scoring. There's more room to maneuver and to get around and all that kind of stuff. And if somebody comes that's supposed to come to talk about rugby, I want them to explain, when they throw the athlete, I was going to say dude, but it's females as well.
It was me.
They throw the dude up in the air. and they catch or then they bot it away. And the guy that we were talking to said sometimes it's this and sometimes it's that. So I would like to learn some of the rules of rugby. And is rugby 7 rules the same as rugby, whatever it is, 11?
Well, the reason I love rugby is because they have hookers. I mean, it's a position, they get the ball from the scrum, and they kick it out to the wingman, and then they run. So, but when I played rugby, I was the middle guy, the center, they call it. And then one guy reaches arm around here and grab this side of the shorts. The other guy reaches around the other side, grab this side, and then they ram me into another dude about my size on the other side of that line.
You must have enjoyed it.
It was painful. And then the coach would say, last one to win sprints, or everybody has to do it over again. Like, like that fear of not beating the biggest guy or the slowest guy. And I lost every race I ever attempted. There were some 350-pound big boys that when they got moving, you're not stopping that freight train.
Yeah, no, for sure. And the rugby team at the Olympics.
The athleticism is incredible.
I don't know if either one of you were aware of that, but the USA won a medal. I really don't remember which. It was probably bronze. But they were losing. They were going to lose the match. And it was like seconds left, and the girl went the entire length. Somehow she broke free, and then, which was really a nice thing, a good thing. And again, not to get into a very masculine-looking woman. And she was on Dancing with the Stars. And some believe should have won. She was runner-up. And how emotional, because she saw the comments, she heard the comments. And so I thought it was a big attaboy on a show that I'm not overly fond about for other political reasons, but it was pretty good.
Rugby is it's a brutal sport. It is tough. We had a guy who was an ad sales guy at Fox News, and he would come in on Monday with these black eyes, and we thought he was doing an underground Fight Club, like first rule of Fight Club, don't talk about Fight Club. But he was playing rugby, and it got to the point where they told him, you can't do this anymore. You look like you got beat up over the weekend. So it's a rough sport, man.
Well, if we go back to Vince Vaughn, when he moved to Hollywood, he was coming in, as a boxer, bruised and beat up. He would do auditions. They said, listen, you got to either choose acting or combat sports because you can't come in like this. So that's how he got to start. He was a big
I didn't even know he was a boxer. Yeah. That's news to me. I thought I knew everything about Hollywood.
Long reach, tall guy.
Well, and it's not the same, but similar was Randy Poffo. Randy Poffo, was playing professional baseball, and kind of moonlighting and doing, some wrestling stuff. And I mean, he obviously made the right choice. We don't know. He could have gone on to do something, but definitely a legend in what he did.
He didn't have the reach of like an Abraham Lincoln or a Barron. But
well, I mean, look what Mickey Rourke. He looks like he,
does fight.
Well, he does.
I know he does.
But
he looks it.
He doesn't. He ruined his acting career
because of his acting.
And that's why we don't get invited to awards.
Do you know I have a story about Mickey Rourke?
Thanks.
All right, the movie, the Expendables, the first one. Sylvester Stallone wanted Mickey Rourke to be in this movie, and Mickey Rourke wanted $1 million to do one scene, and Sly said, "Pay him," and the movie company said, "No, we're not going to pay him. We'll give him half of that." So Sly took it out of his own take, $500,000, and gave it to him. Now, on the day of this, they're supposed to shoot, Mickey Rourke refused to come out of his dressing room because he wasn't ready to do the scene. And everybody's looking at, now they're stopped down the whole set. Stallone paid $300,000 extra because of the downtime, waiting for Mickey Rourke. And Sylvester Stallone said, it's his process. When he's ready, he'll come out. And he bit the bullet on it. He lost $800,000 of his own money. So Mickey Rourke could do that one scene in The Expendables.
So, Randy, you're a betting man. You're a Pete Rose fan. Here's what I'm going to say. Over, under, I don't know how that betting thing works, plus or minus, negative or whatever, that Sly Stallone is in Philly with us at the BKFC fights on Saturday night.
I think it's a good chance.
Will you meet your GOAT? Will you meet your idol?
Honestly, I think I will. I think I will.
Will I be a photographer?
No, I'm bringing a photographer.
Because I got a Polaroid. Yeah. And we'll shake it like a Polaroid picture.
Well, like Tom Shea did with Tiger Woods and myself back in the day. No, if you remember when it was first talked about with David, he implied that, Stallone and with it, if you would have said, and I'm sure David would agree with this, if you would have said at the first one in Wyoming, I'm going to get Sylvester Stallone into Philly, I would have said no way. But it has gotten so big, and it's so Philadelphia now, and he is Philadelphia.
He is.
And, you know, I don't call in favors. You know, I really don't.
I know. I've been waiting for them. I'm waiting.
I don't call people for favors. I don't need to call you for a favor. I'm not really sure how there's any way possible you could help me. And I don't do that. Very rarely do I do that.
You look great, by the way.
But
195?
I'm going to, if Sylvester Stallone is there in Philly, I am going to call in a favor with David Feldman, and I will meet. I won't meet my idol. First of all, I do not have an idol. But I'm not meeting Rocky Balboa. I would be meeting Sylvester Stallone.
What about Thunder Lips? Is that what Hogan played in the movie?
Yes.
So it comes out of Thunder Lips or Stallone. You get to meet one. Which one is it? I know you've already met Hogan.
Well, it's not even that. It's Thunder Lips. First of all, it's no big deal to me.
Right.
You know, and that's not. Hold on. It's and we only got 30 seconds, and we can talk about it when we come back. Okay. It's not a dig to Terry. Right. I mean, I've met Terry.
Your vibe.
No, it's not the vibe. It's just Thunder Lips. It doesn't, you know, Rocky Balboa is what I liked. The story, the Philadelphia. Luckily, we are at the top of the hour. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong, Staff Zone, and Bucked Up Energy Drink.
How you doing? This is Hall of Fame quarterback Warren Moon, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
WTAN, Clearwater.
FM 106.1.
WDCF, Dade City.
FM 102.3.
Listen. WTAN, Clearwater.
FM 106.1.
WDCF, Dade City.
FM 102.3.
Listen.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Michael Wallace. The Trump administration will send more troops to the southern border. CBS's Kemi McCormick has details.
1,500 active duty troops will be deployed, though it's unclear exactly where along the border with Mexico, and their numbers could fluctuate. They'll join 2,500 National Guard forces already stationed in the area, and they're expected to provide logistical support to Border Patrol agents, like building barriers.
President Trump has stopped all admissions of people who are supposed to be allowed into the U.S. under refugee programs. CBS's Ed O'Keefe has more from the White House.
Essentially, anyone in the U.S. refugee admissions program who's trying to come in from overseas and may have been sponsored by a U.S. citizen now has got to sit tight or may never, at least in the next 4 years, get an opportunity to get in unless they can find some other way.
At least 2 students have been wounded in a shooting at Antioch High School in Nashville. No word yet on their conditions. Police say the shooter shot himself and the situation is contained. Elon Musk is questioning the big AI project President Trump announced yesterday. CBS's Christopher Cruz has that story.
On his social media platform X, Musk claimed at least 2 of the companies backing the project don't have enough money to make good on their promises. At the White House yesterday, Trump, accompanied by tech executives, announced a $500 billion AI infrastructure project that would build data centers, among other things. OpenAI said it was partnering with Oracle and SoftBank on the project, but Musk said those companies don't have the cash to make the deal happen.
The snowstorm across the South shattered snowfall records. CBS's Katie Weiss is in New Orleans, which is buried in 10 inches of snow.
Thick layers of ice and snow that are covering the ground. I haven't seen anything like it on the Gulf Coast region, and we know that yesterday this city saw the most snowfall it's ever seen in the history of recorded weather here in the Big Easy.
Samsung has announced some new products with updates to its smartphones. Here's CBS's Matt Piper.
Samsung held what it calls its Unpacked event with new releases of 3 new Galaxy S model phones. The S25 is thinner and lighter and has software upgrades and new colors. The camera hardware, though, remains the same. Some new models feature advanced AI image processing, which, like Samsung TVs, uses AI to digitally enhance the resolution of videos. Prices for the Galaxy S25 start at $799, the S25 Ultra $1,300.
Prince Harry has settled his lawsuit against Rupert Murdoch's news group over alleged hacking by its tabloids.
Harry's called the settlement a monumental victory, saying the papers had finally been held to account for, quote, blatant disregard for the law.
CBS's Imtiaz Tayeb in London. Stocks are higher. This is CBS News.
A riddle brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What do your home and auto have in common? Progressive protects them both. It was an easy riddle. Learn more at progressive.com.
Tampa Bay's Tan Talk. Entertaining and informative radio for the Sunshine State.
This is Chuck the Iceman Liddell, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
All right, we are back coming to you live from the Orange County Convention Center. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8-Man Strong, Staff Zone, and Bucked Up Energy Drink. So I don't know what he was ranting and raving about before we went to break. Do you remember?
Something about hookers and rugby.
No.
we
I
were
put the
past
hookers
that.
down. Listen.
We were past that. It was on to the
Here's
next
what it is.
stupid
Here's
thing
what
he
it is.
says.
No, but here's what I want you to remember, Randy. The people that you guys remember, like at the inauguration, from like a period of time when they were like media and broadcasting, Hulk Hogan, the bigger than life, the bigger than life characters, the Macho Mans, and the people that were broadcast on national TV and with a few broadcast channels. You, my friend, have been in an elevator with the immortal one, Hulk Hogan, of a real American beer, and also Mr. Beast, and you didn't know who he was. And Mr. Beast is way more reach, way bigger on social media, TikTok, almost $1 billion man from doing social media and YouTube. So talk about the Mr. Beast missed opportunity. You didn't know who he was, but you were in the same elevator like Prince going down.
I still don't know who Mr. Beast is.
On the field.
And I don't know what this has to do with anything. And I was not going down. We were going up on an elevator.
Going up on an elevator, okay.
I don't know what that has to do with
Is that what?
anything.
Never mind. That would be what Mike would do if he did an NBA player or WNBA player. He would go up on him.
I'm surprised that the fight night is at Saudi Arabia. The next fight night.
Yeah, but I thought it was it's a decent card, I think.
It's a decent card, yeah. It's just weird that it's in. I wonder what the time difference is going to be.
Well, more importantly, I'm wondering which way they're going to do it. Are they going to still do it like they have, like Sunday and it's live Saturday, 10 o'clock on the East, 7 o'clock on the West?
It's Saturday, February 1st at 12 noon. That's when it starts.
12 noon, whose time?
Eastern.
You know, all the time, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but it's confusing.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it goes 1 p.m. Eastern and sometimes it's 1 p.m. Pacific. And it really screws me up on flights.
Yeah.
Because there's times that I'm doing the red eye or I'm going to go to the airport and stay there all night and leave at 5 in the morning. And then I find out that the thing started at 1 Pacific. And so I could make a 10 o'clock flight.
Right.
So I need to get a direct line to somebody at the UFC to get the proper time.
His name is Bryce Mitchell, and he was on the podcast, the Patrick Bet-David show, and he said that if the Earth is moving at 1,000 miles an hour, and then you could hover a helicopter up and just wait for the Earth to go and you land. Hey, I'm in Australia. Let it hover back up, let it go by, land in Paris. No more jet lag, Randy. I mean, that's Bryce Mitchell, your boy.
He's not my boy.
You guys have great chemistry. He did the show a couple of times. He's a great athlete. Great. He's great. He's a great American.
Well, let's go back to Barron Trump for a second. You said that he talked Donald into doing Joe Rogan's show. Why wouldn't Dana White talk Donald into doing Joe Rogan's show? Interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's more cosmic.
No,
because it's more open-minded.
But Dana said something about Joe Rogan, on the stage when they talked about it. So it's not like, I don't know if you're trying to say was there issues or whatever.
No. I'm not saying that at all.
I would be really curious. You and I know Dana White pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Matt once spoke to Dana White. And how
I didn't even speak to him. I wasn't allowed to.
You did speak to him.
You safeguarded him so much.
In
at
Miami.
Slap.
Right,
Yeah,
at
in Miami,
Slap, you spoke to him.
I was quarantined, and there was no COVID.
There is, let me be honest, Mike. There was zero chance that Matt was going to get anywhere near Dana White, because that's all I can imagine. But I don't know where we were going off on it. But, Dana says what he wants. Dana is his own man. I don't think anybody could tell Dana, but I would love to be a fly on the wall with Dana hanging out with the president of the United States. Now, I know they have a great relationship. Dana told us many stories, the one in Miami about the call from the plane and all that kind of stuff. But, do you think Dana is the relaxed Dana White now that he's president again, or when he was president, as when they hang out or when they walk into a UFC?
No, definitely.
Right? It's still different. He's still the president.
Yeah.
But no matter how much biohacking and healthy Dana does.
Is this bio whatever?
Bio. Oh, no, it's 10X Health, Gary Brecka. But no, Donald Trump will not give up his McDonald's. I mean, it's just who he is. And then when you get to like Ric Flair age or Donald Trump age, you're going to live this thing out on your terms. Forget about media and publicity and your reputation. They're going to live it out on their terms. And thankfully for America, we got a guy that wants to restore our country back to some of the great nostalgic. Look, we have a lot of past and BS, but there's a lot of great things about community and working hard and being competitive and being the best and being celebrated for being dominant and a champion. Not everybody should get to drink out of the Kool-Aid bucket.
Not everybody should go in the Hall of Fame. Somebody, and we talked about it at the first hour. If it takes you 10 years to go into the Hall of Fame, you're not a Hall of Famer.
I agree.
If it takes, you don't go in those first 10 years, and then you come back 20-some years later for the senior, how? Now, I would say, how could you feel proud about it? By then, I'm sure most of them are already dead. The seniors, Dick Allen passed away. He just went into the Hall of Fame. To me, it's ridiculous.
Listen,
but there are some politics involved in getting voted into the Hall of Fame. So
I get that.
What if the 10 years has nothing to do with that person's athletic ability or his career, but there's a couple people who don't like him?
Sure. It's a popularity contest.
Because he snubbed him, during interviews or something.
But didn't sign an autograph for his kid's birthday.
All right, so I'm going to put it this way, and this is probably going to get me thrown off the air, so I probably shouldn't say it.
Say it.
It's similar to the death penalty.
Whoa, well. All right. Well,
no, it is.
It was a great run.
The comment that you just said is similar to the death penalty.
How?
There's people on death row, and I'm sure somebody's on death row that's innocent.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No question.
And that's why that they've taken the death penalty away, because it's better to keep these molesters and people who should be put to death alive, because somewhere there is somebody that is innocent. So it's similar to what you guys just said.
I'm not a research guy, but did Biden pardon the Nesser, the physician for the women's gymnast team?
No, he did not.
Thank God. Thank God.
That would have been brutal.
Oh, man. I mean, Fauci's getting pardoned and he hasn't been accused of anything yet.
No, he's not getting pardoned.
He is pardoned.
He got pardoned.
Yeah, but he didn't. He wasn't accused of anything. That's suspicious.
It's just like Hunter.
Nobody accused him of anything yet.
Hunter got accused, and they adamantly said he was innocent, and he got pardoned. So I'm against all of that. I think all pardons should be. It's ridiculous. If you're in prison for something, you did it.
I'm going to need one.
Yeah, I know.
or 3. Jay-Z has 5 passports. He's never going to jail. That's a good strategy.
Let's get back to Bare Knuckle Saturday night in Wells Fargo. I anticipate it's going to be
insane.
I strongly recommend you stay away from Jeremy Stevens.
Why?
I think Jeremy Stevens' health will be in, what's the word I'm looking for?
Tip-top shape?
No. Jeremy Stevens saying the stuff that he's saying about Philadelphia is probably worse than what Chael Sonnen said. It's being
what did he
taken,
say?
Just ripping the city and saying the typical stuff that you say to promote a fight.
Oh.
But
you don't do that in Philly.
You don't do that in Philly.
They throw batteries at like John Rocker.
No, that was on a train in New York.
Yeah. The original rock star.
But that's fine.
That was a Mets.
John Rocker.
That was a Mets game.
That was the last baseball player I really liked, John Rocker.
But the Philly crowd, the people in Philadelphia are equivalent, if not worse, than Chael saying what he did about Brazil.
Yeah, I agree.
Have you seen the petition to have MMA fighters dress up in the opposing team jerseys in the crowd at the Philly game, just to like get knocked out by like John Jones in disguise, or because the Philly fans will literally beat up fans if they have an opposing jersey in the stadium.
And they don't care male, male,
They beat up Santa Claus, didn't they?
First of all,
booed him.
They booed Santa Claus.
Worst fans of all
and it
time.
was not Santa Claus.
Santa Claus got booed in Philly. I mean, it's easy to hate a city that boos Santa Claus.
It's one thing if you boo Santa Claus, that's awful. But they took an imposter out of the stands.
You know what? I want to boo Santa Claus because his form is off. You can't carry a bag of toys over your shoulder. Leverage will pull you backwards. You got to Husafell stone it like the strongmen do in Ireland and Scotland. You pick it up from the front, you good posture, and you walk straight. Santa's a fraud, bro. And he's got combat boots on. Where's he going? It's not good for your back.
Well, you need the combat boots for when you come in and out of the chimney. All right, it's break time. Let's go hit our next break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little pickleball, or at least we're scheduled to talk a little pickleball. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong, Staff Zone, and Bucked Up Energy Drink. We'll be right back.
Bruce Buffer, the voice of the UFC Octagon, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
Conveniently located in Pinellas Park, Cool Breeze AC is just one phone call away. Reach them at 727-954-3605, and their highly skilled and knowledgeable technicians will be at your service 24/7, ensuring your ultimate comfort all year round.
You're hungry. Where do you go to eat? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. You want to have a drink? Where do you go? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Having a get-together with the guys from the softball team? Where do you do it? That's right, Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Located at 1320 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, right across from Tropicana Field. Berg's is the best place to take the whole family for food and fun. Going to a Rays game? Have dinner before the game at Berg's, and after the Rays win, come and celebrate with all your friends at Berg's, right across from the Trop. So come down and see Berg and the whole gang at Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
Hey guys, I'm Chase Elliott, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
You don't get them girls loose, loose. You don't get the world loose, loose. You don't get money,
Mr. Worldwide.
but I do. You don't get them girls loose, loose. You don't get the world loose, loose. You don't get money, but I do.
Hey, y'all having a good time out there?
All right, we are back coming to you live from the Orange County. Yeah, that's all right. Convention Center, the PGA show. We broadcast from here all the time, every year.
My first time here, I'm so impressed.
No, it's incredible. Yeah. And, you know, what's funny is what we're about to talk about, pickleball. I know that we all have played a little bit. But the thing that I find funny, kind of like when we had the golf coach on, and how, you know, they're trying to open it up and lighten it up, and Adam Sandler, you know, that kind of stuff. When pickleball first started, you'd never find them here at the PGA show. And now it's involved. So let's welcome Bryn from Selkirk?
Selkirk, yeah.
Awesome. First, talk about Selkirk, and then we're going to talk about some pickleball.
Okay, well, Selkirk Sport is one of the first high-tech manufacturers of pickleball paddles. We've been around for 10 years, and we like to say we're a leader in innovation and product development in pickleball.
But you have to agree, when pickleball first was invented, you'd never find, you know, just like, all these other sports that come on, they're like, oh, don't touch our territory. MMA with boxing and such. And now pickleball is blowing up. It is like, I think I told you, Brad Penny owns a pro celebrity pickleball team, which he thinks he wants to play him for a lot of money.
I do want to play.
And he's going to lose. And how have you noticed the change, over the years?
Yeah, so pickleball really kind of exploded coming out of the COVID-19 epidemic. A lot of people were looking for a safe place or a safe way to exercise after COVID. And so people started picking up pickleball paddles. And so in the last couple years, it's just exploded. The last 3 years, it's the fastest growing sport in the United States. And now we're seeing it grow internationally as well.
How do us normal people go to a pickleball court, I don't know if you can answer this, and get on it? Because you can't get on a pickleball court. We need more courts.
We definitely do need more courts, and that's something the industry is trying to work on. But a lot of places actually offer open play, where you can just go and put your paddle in line, and you're welcome on any court with any player.
I noticed I was at the YMCA in Atlanta. I went to go see my family, and I noticed like paddles are there, and I had no idea. And I was honestly, and I know this is shocking, I was too intimidated to walk out there to play. Yeah, I know I'm awful. I just enjoy it. So not knowing people, and they're like pulling paddles out like ping pong balls, and I was a little intimidated. Talk about the paddles.
The paddles.
Your paddles, yeah.
Yeah, so
not the ones that I used to receive on my rear end in elementary school.
On the prairie.
So when pickleball first started, a lot of paddles were just made with wood.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things our founders, were founded by two brothers, was really intent on is creating high performance paddles. So we're using a lot of materials from fiberglass to carbon fiber to kind of increase the performance of pickleball for players and for professional players and for the recreational players.
And you guys also have footwear, right, designed for pickleball. Tell me, what is unique to pickleball that you would have special shoes for?
Yeah, so we actually just launched our shoes in January. And the big difference for pickleball is that there's a lot of lateral movement and quick stops. So when you're wearing a traditional running shoe on the court, those are built for forward motion. So when you're trying to make those quick stops,
you roll your ankles.
You roll your ankle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can you, and I know Matt's going to say this, so I'm going to jump in before, and I'm sure he has something to say. Can you invent a pair of shoes to keep me out of the kitchen?
I wish. That would be very helpful.
Well, no, you got to put one of those like a invisible fence for the dogs, and you go in the kitchen, you get buzzed.
No. Well, I closed my professional kitchen because I was just sick of cooking. That was not an illness. But I love barefoot. Do you have any footwear like towards barefoot? Like, because I play pickleball barefoot to give me a better ankle stability. So I don't know if you like have anything like slim, thin, that would like be complementary to the sport, because like Randy said, this sport is blowing up so big. It's way bigger than the physical fitness aspect and the longevity aspect of like playing a racket sport, but it's a community, and it's the same people week in, week out, and they build these family structures, and it's amazing. Tampa has an amazing facility in Ybor.
One in Largo.
And I love this sport. I love the game. I love the community. I love everything about it. So, but if you don't have a barefoot style shoe, I would love to like work with you guys and like put one on the court.
Well, I understand. I love to be barefoot as well, but we do recommend when you're on the court that you wear something with a lot of cushion, just for shock absorption on your knees and your back. If you're playing long hours and you're barefoot, you're going to feel that the next day.
Not to mention, in Tampa, the heat is incredible. Like the court gets really hot. I wouldn't want to be barefoot on a court in Tampa.
Yeah, I'm based in Chicago, and it gets pretty cold. I wouldn't want to be barefoot there either.
Okay.
I'm assuming you play.
I do play.
How good are you?
I'm about a 4.0, so I'm an intermediate player. I definitely can't hang with the pros, but I can hold my own on a casual court.
How long have you been playing?
I've been playing about a year and a half now.
And what's your favorite blend of Garrett popcorn?
You got to go with the Chicago blend, the caramel and the cheese. You got to.
I just got very lucky. I'm going to Garrett popcorn. So every time I go to Vegas for the UFC, I bring Garrett popcorn home. Well, I didn't go last time, so I ordered it. With a delivery is supposed to be today. They shipped it too early. So I said, and which is true, my wife was on a cruise and I was in Atlanta. So I called and said, it's shipped too early. They reshipped it, so we're getting two of them.
Wow.
Yeah, the popcorn's awesome.
So, Brent, I have a real question. I don't do that
because all
very
the other
often.
ones are fake.
Right, I just mess around because I can. But have you found that being at the PGA Golf Expo here in the convention center, that your customer is very, like, are there golfers that are looking for the same kind of thing what you guys did for tennis, where it's not so much distance and not so much running or out, athleticism required, where you can condense the course into a shorter, are you guys sharing the same kind of people that want fast interaction and quick games, but not the 6 hours on the links?
Yeah, so we're finding that pickleball does have a lot of crossover with other sports. A lot of athletes who may be older and are looking for a way to compete like pickleball because it is accessible.
For sure.
It's easy on the joints. It's fun.
It is.
You can play for 10 minutes. You can play for 5 hours.
And it's quick.
It's very quick games.
Neurologically, you're moving on.
The one misconception, and I know I jumped in front of you, is people think that it's still not a workout. I mean, when I played in Vegas, at that media thing, I mean, I was huffing and puffing, and, you're running back and forth, and, you think, oh, it's shorter than tennis. You're not going to even get a workout. That's a misconception.
Yeah, depending on your skill level, you can burn more than 150 calories per hour. And even more than that if you're playing singles. I stay away from that because I don't like all the running. But even in doubles, it's still a very good workout.
The worst part for me is I have to always go chase the ball when I, that's how we would, if you do it, you got to go again. I'm like, God, here we go again.
What do you think the demographic is? I know it's pretty wide. Do you think that was the intent of the founders of pickleball, to make it so widely accessible?
I don't know their exact intent, but it did start out among an older generation. So there still is that misnomer that pickleball's for old people.
Right.
However,
but it's not.
It's not.
No,
One
it's
of
not.
The largest demographics now is actually males 25 to 35.
I have a court down the street from my house, and it's packed every day. And it's young kids to older people every day. I mean, you can't get on it. It's ridiculous. Then they doubled the number of courts, so now there's 8. Used to be 4, now there's 8. And it's just incredible that, to me, people are there every single day from morning to night. It's crazy.
Yeah, and that's a trend we do see across the country. We definitely need more courts, more infrastructure.
How do you address that?
Yeah,
because Matt mentioned something in Ybor City. We have a big event, a big event space for pickleball only. It used to be like a
steel.
It
was a steel manufacturer.
Yeah, steel manufacturer. Now it's all pickleball indoors, covered from the sun, which is great. But that costs money though. You got to pay per hour or whatever it is. So not everybody can afford to pay. That's why they go to the courts by my house. But it's just crazy.
Well, you see a lot of tennis courts being converted. You can, with the same real estate that's already paved, you can turn it sideways and you get 4 pickleball for 2 tennis. So it's or actually 8, right? I mean,
you can
get 8 out of 2 tennis courts. So you see a lot of communities, HOAs, converting them over, and you're right. My community's put in new lights, so now we have nighttime pickleball, brand new courts. Like, it's the only thing that's busy now.
I've seen people play with wiffle balls. I mean, that's obviously not wanted, correct? I mean, but I see people playing with wiffle balls. How important are the balls?
So the ball, I think, is even more important than the paddle. You need something that's going to be a reliable shape, that's going to hold that shape through all weather, and something that's not going to lose its kind of grit on the surface. A lot of players are very picky about the ball that they use, and they'll only use one brand or one model. So it is definitely an important aspect of the game. I would not recommend using a wiffle ball.
Have you noticed, as mainly golfers are walking around at the PGA show, anybody not familiar with pickleball, and you're like showing them about it? Are there still people not aware of it?
When we first started coming here, we did have to explain what pickleball is. But lately, people just seem to be so excited to see us here. They want to get out on our demo courts and play with us. I haven't really run into anybody that doesn't at least know of
By
pickleball.
now,
Do you have demo courts here?
We do.
Yeah.
We have 2 demo courts over in the racket sport area.
It's just, I enjoy watching it. It's kind of like I already mentioned once, Death Sticks, which used to sponsor Alice Cooper, and then when he left, I got his sponsorship, which was awesome. But the PGA didn't want any part of that, and now it's open. I just like watching from nobody liking it. Fantasy football, the NFL hated it, and now the PGA kind of accepting. To me is awesome. It must be even more for you guys.
Yeah, it's been really great to kind of see the welcome, and a lot of golf clubs are interested in adding pickleball to their lineup. So it's been pretty successful for us to be here in terms of just consumer and business growth.
Okay, now a dumb question. Okay.
Because the other ones were not.
Correct. So tennis has different clay, court, grass, like hard surface. Does pickleball have that ability with the type of ball you use? Like, will there be a time where you could have a little even less impact to the knees and the joints, like on a clay or something you could slide instead of like a hard? Do the balls bounce at all? Are there pickleballs coming out like that? Have you seen any of that?
There are different surfaces now that people can install. Not so much clay or grass, but there are some that are
the plastic ones, like the woven ones.
Yeah, plastic woven.
Right.
That's better for.
The innovation's amazing what they're doing in pickleball. Yeah, that's what you played in the NFL last year at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it was the hold one. Like, as it drains the water.
I talked to him. We were going to put one in one of the house's backyards. If I can't get a court in the the city, I was going to just put one in my backyard, and then
looks like I'm moving in.
Kind of money for
looks
that.
like I'm moving in. I got a pool and I got a pickleball court. I'm moving to your house.
That ain't gonna happen. How can people follow the company? How can they purchase the items? Where do they need to go?
So we are in a lot of large retailers such as Dick's Sporting Goods and Costco, but the best place to follow us is sellkirk.com or on social media at sellkirksport.
And we're going to send you the videos of us using the product, and we'll send all that to you once we start using them.
Can't wait to see it. I hope you guys have fun.
Appreciate your time. Let's go ahead and break.
Thank you.
Coming to you live from the PGA show here in Orlando. This is Knockout Radio. We'll be right back.
Tune in every Monday night from 7 to 8 for the Players Show. For the 17th consecutive year, we'll broadcast live from the Press Box Sports Emporium, located at 222 Southdale, Mabry, and Tampa. And sponsored by 8 Man Strong and Staff Cell. We'll review last week's game, preview the upcoming one, and have a different player each week. So come out and join us, or tune in every Monday night from 7 to 8.
Ready to take charge of your day? Bucked Up energy drinks are taking over the energy drink market. Find them at Walmart, Publix, GNC, and Vitamin Shop. Real energy and real focus. Get bucked up.
Roasted Whisk Gift Box Company is an online specialty gift box company specializing in corporate gifting, creating a fun and unique gifting experience for your clients, vendors, or employees. Gift boxes could include specialty coffees or teas, mugs, espresso-infused baked goods, scented candles, and many more options. Check us out at roastedwhisk.com. Roasted Whisk on all social platforms.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong. Experience the charming Country Depot gift shop located in the heart of downtown Brooksville, located at 36 North Broad Street. From sports memorabilia to antiques, from handbags to one-of-a-kind art and decor, the Country Depot has it all. Check them out at countrydepot.com, Country Depot on Facebook, or stop by the store at 36 North Broad Street in downtown Brooksville. Got bills and looking for work but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
This is Larry Johnson, and you're talking sports with Rainey Harris.
All right, we are back coming to you live once again from the Orange County Convention Center, the PGA Golf Show. I do not know what year this is of us covering it and what year it is of it, but it is the second year in a row of the appearance of Tom Shea.
Hello, Randy Harris. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you? What's
I'm
new?
Good, thank you.
Who was the better golfer, you or the coach?
I think he is.
Really?
So, you know.
Well, that's because you're humble. I know.
Yeah, I know. So, I mean, well, listen, a lot of good golf up there. I do, you know, there's a lot of great golf courses in Florida, but the Northeast has the history. So,
what is it when you cross your fingers? Doesn't that mean like you're lying and it's the protection?
Yeah.
That Tom did that when he said he was a better golfer. He was crossing his fingers.
crossing my toes and crossing my fingers. There you go.
But speaking of golf, being what did you say, disruptor? What wasn't that golf's history? Wasn't it a nuisance to the communities? Like they're playing through cities and cobblestone roads and.
Listen, I think the best description of golf is Robin Williams' skit. Did you ever see Robin Williams do the skit on golf?
No, sir.
Oh, you got to post that. I mean, I can't repeat some of the words he used, but he's like, oh, we'll do this once. No, we'll do it 18 effing times. So I was like, it's a great skit, man. It just, I think that sums up golf perfectly. So
I was explaining, this is how I sum up golf. I was explaining it to Austin the other day about golf. Do you play? He goes, no, not really. I said, golf is, and I've told you this back when we used to play a lot. I love golf because I'm awful at it. I don't want to get any better. I got very fortunate. We won 280-some tournaments because of who I surrounded myself with. But the thing about golf is you'll make one shot. I know that I don't know if I've ever told you guys this. So we've won all these tournaments. Tom was, involved in a lot of them. I later found out, and Tom's going to probably fib and say he wasn't in on this either, but the other guys would bet on how long it would take to use one of my shots.
Yeah, we would do that.
Yeah. We had
some sympathy shots.
Yeah,
for you,
no, I get it. But, you get that one shot. It doesn't even have to be, a par 3, or you doesn't have to make par. Or you sink a one shot. It's like, wow, this is cool. All right, I'll play again next week.
That's the beauty of the game. I mean, it's a love-hate relationship. I always like to say my youngest son's my favorite example, and my wife wanted me to push him. I'm like, no, it's the last thing I'm going to do. He has to love it. He eventually did, and now the rest is history. But just what you said earlier, it's really all about fun. And some people, I think, do take it a little too serious, but because at the end of the day, it is a game. But it's definitely a game that'll drive you to drink. That's for sure.
Before I know you guys both have questions, I'm going to jump in real quick because I'm going to forget. You can drop the names that James said about who is joining the Villanova squad. Yes. Listen to this.
Justin Leonard's son, is joining Villanova next year. He's very excited about that. That was out. I think that was released about a month ago.
Well, none of it. Well, Mike might be able to read. Matt and I don't. So
yeah,
the words are hard.
Tom, how do people who can't afford to be serious golfers even get into the game? Because a lot of people are afraid because they know it's expensive to play. You got to play for the green. You got to pay for equipment. It's not something you can't just get a ball and go play. So, are there ways of entry for people that have that monetary disadvantage?
Well, listen, I'll use any golf course as an example because they're always looking for help. They're willing to trade out for that help. Mm-hmm. We do have a lot of senior citizens that do that, but there's kids that take advantage of that too. I mean, I grew up as a caddy. So, I mean, being able to have access as a caddy and then being able to have access to the golf course from there. The first tee is out there. There's a lot of groups out there that are willing to help to get people involved in the game. So,
and people might look at that as a stigma. Oh, I'm going to go work there, blah, blah, blah. My dad did it, worked at a golf course to play. You may not be familiar with Dave Worth. I mean, we all are. Dave Worth was a huge local sports director.
Yeah.
He works out at Innisbrook.
Yep.
And
exactly.
It's mainly to play golf.
Exactly.
The other thing I'll say is, there's other courses, not as nice maybe, not at country clubs maybe. $15 you can go out and play, 18 holes. So it's not bad.
So yeah, I mean, about the etiquette of golf. Like I dressed up today in character, in costume.
You're looking.
I'm ready to go.
You look great.
I'm ready to
absolutely
crash.
look great.
You look like Biff.
I'm ready to crash my. crash my dinghy on an island with a
he
Gilligan.
acts like Biff as well.
But here's the thing. Is golf to the point where we can take our shirt off, we can drink beer, we can hang out, we can have a good time, or would you still have to be the etiquette, clap, soft, respect gentleman sport?
I'm going to say no to taking the shirt off. We at least have to have our clothes on. Hey, the beer drinking is pretty rampant out there. So
I'll meet you in the middle.
But not like what he's saying.
Can I go barefoot naked with beer, shirt on?
There are some courses you can do that.
Yeah, let's do those.
Okay, those are ultra private. I mean, somebody told me about there's one in Sarasota that remained nameless, but they said you could play naked down there. So we may have to make an introduction.
There was a very famous tournament, and I can neither confirm nor deny that I know anyone that has ever participated at this event. But it was put on by 2001 and what's the other one, the Dollhouse.
Yep.
And they wouldn't even tell you where the tournament was.
Right.
You would meet in their parking lot. They put you on a bus, and there was a lot of nakedness going on. Which was okay on that course. If it's privately owned,
still out there.
You can definitely do that.
Golf is coming back. Make America happy again, or horny again. One of the two.
There you go.
So what's before we run out of time, we've got Captain America or Mr. America coming in.
Nice.
Since he's a Marine, I got to respect him a little bit.
Rocky,
he's far from Rocky.
Happy Gilmore. I love it.
What's new in your world? And
still running the U.S. Kids events in town in Tampa. I'm the Tampa tour director. I'm up at Brooksville Country Club. Still doing the kids stuff. Also, I guess I will say a little bit. Last year and this year, I actually was the Deacon Palmer Award winner for the chapter and the section, which has to do with my background as a foster kid, and I was adopted. Those are some things we're going to talk about off the air later with you, and just being in kids' world. So I get down to their level and. Hopefully, I never grow up.
Well, I can relate to that because my parents, still are trying to get me adopted.
There you go.
Tom, I have to thank you personally for bringing Coach Wilkes in because I've interviewed lots of people in my life, and I've never interviewed a golf coach in my life. It was my first time, and I really thought it was great. He was a great interview. He really was.
He's awesome, and it was funny because I just said, hey, Villanova golf coach, you should be on, and you guys agreed. And he kept asking me, what do they talk about? I said, well, Randy's.
Who knows?
Randy's Mr. Sports. I mean, he can talk about anything. I said, he's at the golf show, so he can relate to golf and talk about golf.
The funny thing about it, and I know Matt's going to probably have a coronary because he's got probably a dumb question to ask. But so you didn't come here to meet up with James. You know James. You've had a friendship. And you just happened to run into him as you were coming here to look for us.
I had nothing planned today, Randy, and I am batting 1,000 today.
That's awesome.
I ran into James, and then he was right next to the show here, and I'm like, well, I need to see those guys also, so I'm still batting 1,000. So thank you.
So you're a Tampa guy.
Yes.
You're a Tampanian is what we call.
I'm originally from New Jersey, so
New
I like
Jersey,
to
okay.
I'm always home.
So where in Jersey are you from?
I grew up in Middletown.
Okay.
Along the Jersey Shore.
Yeah, I'm from Long Beach Island.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So I got to this town in 07, made a big splash. Matthew McClellan was a known name. Then Fox 13 brings in a Matthew McClellan to replace me. James Wilkes is the season 9 UFC Ultimate Fighter winner who went on to create the documentary Game Changers, which is about vegans and performance and athletes.
That's awesome.
So which James Wilkes gets to keep it? The first one to be world-renowned or recognized?
I think whoever you declare number one will be number one. How's that?
So which James Wilkes, golfer or UFC fighter?
It depends on the arena you're in.
Yeah, exactly.
No. I'm going to give you the answer. This is how we're going to decide. Okay? Tom Shea, somebody that I've known for over 2 decades, an extremely long period of time, said that he's going to let you name it. So go ahead and you name. Hurry up.
And if you say Gladiator, you got to go. Hortatelli is the conversion
just
to.
Pick.
I'm going to go with the guy who's making people healthy. Like go.
I want to
fighter.
meet. How about this? I want to meet that guy.
Okay, hold on.
James Wilkes,
hold on.
Matt McClellan.
Here's what we're going to do. Here's what I'm going to do. You said that Matt can choose. We're going to trump that, and we're going to go whatever Matt says the opposite.
Okay.
So that means Villanova coach keeps his name. There you go.
I think they should fight for it.
I think they should play golf for it.
I think so, too. Or putt-putt. How about putt-putt?
Well, okay, so speaking of the length of the course and the time to play 18 holes. Are there modified shorter courses or like cut in half where you can like do express?
Man, I tell the story all the time. I mean, it kills me before I left Jersey, I must have watched a dozen courses close that were short courses. Now the short course is making a comeback.
Yeah,
so it's really cool, and it is. It's a time thing, and it's really a lot of fun. Whether it's a par 3 course, like there's a hidden gem in Tampa Bay Golf and Country Club. You guys have probably driven by a million times on 75, like I have. They have probably the greatest par 3 course in the area, and it's in phenomenal shape. We've used it for U.S. kids, 9 holes, and it takes you an hour and a half.
Have you ever played at the Rutgers course?
Yeah.
I went to Rutgers. I was a wrestler there, but I played there once. It was the only time I ever played.
Yeah.
We play in St. Pete. There's one of those.
Yes.
That's the one I got. They wouldn't let me play.
Yeah, you got a great little course there.
They wouldn't let me play because I was in flip-flops.
Oh, that's too bad.
Like, come on. It's not a country club.
It's Florida. I mean, things are so much more relaxed here in Florida. We can wear shorts as professionals. I just, I always choose to wear slacks because that's my habit. But I think it's awesome that we have a little bit of a lesser dress code.
Not
to the point of you, but so.
Was it Sam Snead, the golfer that played barefoot? Was that his legendary preference?
Yes.
Sam Snead, right? Yeah. Barefoot golf goes back 100 years.
Did that a lot growing up. So,
before we run out of time, which we basically are, anything else that is on your mind? Any WWE things you're going to, or hockey events?
That was fun, wasn't it? That was fun. And my daughter, I'm going to throw under the bus a little bit. She's like, "Oh, that wasn't fun." I'm like, "We're in the Lightning Suite.
Yeah.
Everything is free, and you didn't like it." Well, that part was good. I'm like, well, she doesn't appreciate. I mean, I really go back a long time with that stuff. I saw them in San Diego. I saw them in Jersey. I mean, I went to WrestleMania 4. I mean, awesome. So I love it.
Tom, we ask fighters all the time, what's their favorite fight movie? Is there a golf movie that's your favorite?
Well, Happy Gilmore's great, and Caddyshack, of course, is number one. So,
what about Bagger Vance?
Bagger Vance is good.
Yeah.
I like the deep ones. I just saw that. What is it? Utopia.
Yeah.
7 Days in Utopia. I got to see that. I haven't seen it yet. So, I like the deep thinking ones too.
Was it Kevin Costner was in one, or?
Oh yeah. What was that?
For the love of Tin Cup.
Tin Cup is great.
Because there's a local actor, a friend of mine, who was in it. He's the one that lost the clubs or something.
Well, Caddyshack, Happy Gilmore 2 is coming out.
Right.
They filmed part of it at the golf course I grew up in New Jersey. Really? I am going to go crazy when I see it. Especially they had horses running around. So,
which golf club is that?
Beacon Hill.
Okay.
Atlantic Highlands.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Tom Shea.
You know who lives in Atlantic Highlands? Dan Mergliata.
Nice.
Tom Shea.
Randy Harris.
Good seeing you, as always. We will definitely catch up in 16 minutes.
Definitely.
So let's go hit this break, and then a badass Marine with a 7-foot-long beard is going to sit down next.
Awesome.
So this is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong, Staff Zone, and Bucked Up Energy Drink. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Don Maynard. I'm talking sports with Randy Harris.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
Ready to take charge of your day? Bucked Up Energy Drinks are taking over the energy drink market. Find them at Walmart, Publix, GNC, and Vitamin Shop. Real energy and real focus. Get bucked up.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
Hi, this is Cal Ripken Jr., and you're listening to Talking Sports with Randy Harris.
Well, I was going to let the Rocky music play out. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong, Staff Zone, and Bucked Up Energy Drink. All right, so you got a dilemma there over there.
I do.
Juvenile delinquent.
What are you talking about?
All right, well, you just said that you wanted Wilkes to fight
Wilkes.
James Wilkes.
Yeah, James Wilkes
All right.
fights James Wilkes.
You probably don't know much about Tampa Bay Buccaneer history, but a former tight end, John Gilmore, who I used to help, he owned a company, a clothing company in memorabilia. Meet John Gilmore.
Oh, wow. All right, they got to fight it out. See who gets to keep the name.
We're talking about people with the same name.
So, yeah, because like fighters have like the Nightmare Sanchez, the Nightmare. Everybody's like got the same nickname. There's too many. So it's like first person with the biggest notoriety should get to keep the name. Or they fight it out to see who keeps it.
Well, so my call sign in the Marine Corps was Stone Cold because we were at a training exercise once, and I had yelled so much that my voice was scratchy, and one of the Marines goes, "Oh my God, dude, you're like Stone Cold." So then we made it a thing, and I was like, you know what? Fine, that was my call sign. So every time he'd be like, Stone Cold, and they were just cracking up. So every time we'd call in birds, and be like, Stone Cold requested it, and they were just like, what?
Did you wear this hat in combat? I mean,
you know what? I can't tell you.
An easy target. See it in the dark.
No, so that, so the whole American flag head to toe thing is just a signature thing I've just kind of picked up a few years back since retiring, getting back into golf, getting into long drive competitions, and then getting into charity golf events. It was one of those things where I was like, I'm just diehard American. I've served my country and all things, and I love it. And it's just one thing led to another. I've got the socks, then I got the shoes, then the pants, and now it's just like, Loudmouth is making this, Bogey Bros and American Grunt Lab is making this. And then one day I was just like, I need a big hat to go with it. And I was like, Amazon. Boom, there you go. And next thing you know, I'm like, Where's Waldo American Edition walking around this place, and people are just stopping me.
So I'm doing a show in Las Vegas, and the UFC comes over and says, I know that you love putting veterans on because you're a veteran. We've got an Army vet over here who's our slap champion. And so
How is that a sport?
Have you ever watched it?
I've seen some. It's hilarious.
I will get you an invite to a.
I'm not participating in that.
No, to an underground. It's sanctioned.
Underground. Here we go.
Very few people
come out.
Yeah, it's awesome. The experience of seeing it, you need to go to it, and I'll get that set up for you.
Bring me out.
But what I was getting at, so they bring this Army vet over, and just like I already said to you, which. Big balls by me. I mean, the guy's, the Jolly Green Giant, and I'm making fun of him. And I asked you what service. So they said he was Army. He sits down, and I go, well, it's a shame. He said you were a veteran. You're Army. And he got as red as the hat. And he got pissed. And he looked at me, and I've only had one guy really get mad. It was an older man, and he goes, Army? I'm a Marine. I go, oh, shit.
Here we go.
I said ship.
$200,000.
S-H-I-P.
You just bought the network.
No, Navy is ship.
Right. The ship is on my thing. So, we joke all the time, Marines and this, that, the other, and I make fun of more, worse. But it was kind of funny because I asked my brother-in-law, who is a Marine, who was there when they found Obama.
I hope you got a bleep button somewhere.
They might have found his money as well. Why am I ex-Navy, but Marines are always Marines?
That's just something that I get from the day I went in and talked to a recruiter, and it was just one of those, always a Marine, always, and I'm sitting there going like, okay. And then once I'd gone through boot camp and gone through all that. Can I say hell? I guess I did. And then when they hand you that Eagle Globe and Anchor, it's just kind of like, holy crap. I was like, just boot camp alone is one of the hardest things that a lot of people will ever do. And then, depending on your service, 4 years, 10 years, 20, whatever you do. And then it's one of those things that when you retire, it is just something that is ingrained from you from day one to the point to where it's like, there's no such thing as an X. Once a Marine, always a Marine. And it does. It just sticks to you. Now, why y'all call each other X's maybe is because of y'all's love language in the Navy. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is.
But we're going to get along well.
Yeah.
I really did like, again, I'm a big vet, everything. The American flag got me in trouble. I made some comments, when people were kneeling and such. Give me your thoughts, and I'm sure that you agreed with it. When Randy Orton was in the movie The Marine and basically, got pulled from it because, Marines are like, wait a second, he was dishonorably discharged or neutrally, whatever. He's not honorably discharged. And it cost him the gig of doing the movie The Marines.
But then they bring somebody in who was never a Marine.
Yeah.
And
so which is worse?
I don't know. I would say the Marine, regardless of what happened at the end, honorably, dishonorably, just because you did one bad thing doesn't erase all the good you've done. So, they should have stuck with him. Because, it's kind of the same saying, we never leave a brother behind.
Right.
No,
true. Hey.
So you know what? So shame on them for that, which don't get me wrong. I love me some John Cena too, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, you should have stuck with your roots, and I mean, he probably would have made a better one. Not saying John Cena did a bad one.
Well, nobody could see him.
Yeah.
Can you go to Philly with me on Friday and Saturday this week? I'm afraid
you got room in the limo.
Well, I'm afraid because the Navy, they leave brothers behind, right? And I'm in the city of brotherly love, and I don't feel safe. I think I'm going to get left there, bro.
Hey,
you don't think
put me in, Coach.
I've already told you I'm taking you into Kensington. I don't know if you know much about Philly.
No.
Kensington is the heroin capital of the world.
Oh.
And I'm taking him there and kicking him out of the car. And if he makes his way back to the airport, he can come on.
All right, my
John,
phone number is 843.
Done. Let's go.
John, is there any truth to the notion that golf is good for PTSD? It's good for people coming back from military service and from hardened things. It just takes your mind off things.
It does, and I can say that too because so I was medically discharged 2013. I was 100% disabled retirement, and then it took me probably another 3 years maybe to really find golf again. So I got into golf back in 93, 94, like middle school time frame, and because I was born and raised in Myrtle Beach, golf capital of the world, and so played, did some in some high school, joined the Marine Corps, 15 years, 20 different countries. I was in Ireland 3 times, not one round of golf. Shame on me. And so then when I was medically retired, with because I've got a lot of spinal issues, shoulders, it was one of those things. I was like, I didn't know if I'd get back into golf, and then one day, guys like, hey, I'm going out to the driving range. I said, you know what, I'll go with you. Picked up a club, and even though there was some pain there, I was like, you know what, this is something I think I could do. And so I got back into it, and then it just led to one of those things to where, yes, it can help, does help, because it gives you something else to focus on. Now, with that being said, I was also introduced to PGA Hope program, if you've ever heard of that. It's Help Our Patriots Everywhere. It's golf therapy, which I don't know who the hell thought golf was therapeutic, but it does. It helps get you around your fellow comrades who have similar issues to you, and it allows you to have that brotherhood, that cohesion again, and then introduce golf no matter what level you're at. And it was one of those things to where I got out there and we were able to work through some of the injuries, learn how to rotate differently to where it doesn't aggravate it as bad, and just work through it. So it does allow you to work around injuries, to get you into something that you can really enjoy, with fellow brothers and sisters at arms, and really just give you something to focus on that can lessen the demons.
Gotcha.
And that's an extra step that could help minimize some issues. And that's the end goal, is to get rid of that suicide rates.
How are you golf related? I mean, you talked long drives, or you were long drive?
I am. So back to PGA Hope, I was introduced to it. I went out to a clinic, and I was just hitting some balls, trying to get back into it. And a guy comes over. He's watching me hit driver, and he goes, "Why aren't you doing long drive?" I said, "I have no idea." And so he gets me in touch with this guy, and this guy's like, "Yeah, come out, try it out." And he worked with me on several things, and he's like, "Let's get you some equipment, get you out to an event." My first event, and I compete in the military bracket. I'm old enough now to hit the senior bracket, and I'm just going like, all right, let's tackle one at a time here. And so I've stuck with it. So I got into long drive in 2021, and my first year I finished #1 military ranked in the world.
Wow.
And my second year I finished runner-up at the championships. Last year, 2023, I won the Military World Long Drive Championship. Wow. And then last year in 2024, I broke 2 clubs, broke my finger, tore my elbow, and shot a club head 180 yards down range. So at least we look good doing it. And it's one of those things to where, even with all the injuries, I've learned to, in the military, we just dealt with our pain in different ways, whether it was good or bad. And it's one of those things where I was like, you know what? I'm going to be in pain when I get out of this bed every morning, no matter what. So why not enjoy something to mask that aggravation. And it was just one of the things that, I was pretty good at, and it just kind of went from there. So yeah,
when is your next competition?
I'll be honest with you, I don't know. I haven't even had a chance to look at the schedule because I have, in addition to long drive, in fact, we can backtrack. 3 years ago in Orlando at the PGA show, Bob Winskowski, he's on Squares golf shoes. He was like, hey, come out to Hooters. We're having a party, introduce you and all that. And lo and behold, John Daly's there.
Yep.
And so I go over there, and I'm standing next to JD, and I look at him, and I've got this green blazer on with my military long drive. I was like, hey, JD, where's your green jacket? He turns around, looks me up and down. He goes, I don't need that thing. And I was just kind of like, hey, my man. So I introduced myself, told him I was military, and he's like, hey, come meet so-and-so, come meet so-and-so. And so then his charity, the Heart of a Lion program, which is for our veterans, first responders, nation's children. And so I travel around with the Heart of a Lion Foundation and help them raise extra money charity by getting on a tee box, running my mouth, hitting some golf balls, and helping give back to the organization. And so that in itself, with other charities that I work with, helps raise money and takes up a good bit of my time as well.
Did John get you one of the VIP cards?
He did not. Nope, he did not.
It's a shame you don't know anybody.
I know. You know what? I haven't even got a single Christmas card. So have to work on that.
So did you say the area code 813? Or
843.
843.
South Carolina.
South Carolina. All right.
I'm just showing you mine. I'll make a phone call.
Yep. Hey, JD, right here. Yeah, hey, it's my birthday next week. Right here, JD.
we got to link up, man. I have a product I want you to try. It's called Freedom, and it will help you with a lot of those issues you're dealing with probably.
Yeah.
It'll get you swinging better, get you more loose, open, and help you neurologically as well.
Okay.
It's called the Freedom Device, and we'll link up after the show. Because when I saw you walk by and I saw the hat, I was thinking Rocky run up the steps Friday night in Philly with Randy, BKFC.
Cue Rocky theme song.
But I was like, usually
ringtone.
Uncle Sam wants me, but I'm like, no, I want you, John, to come do this show. Knockout Radio, baby. So
let's do it.
I knew when you walked by, you just had a different vibration, different energy. It's all positive, man.
Oh, yeah.
So the way you're trying to uplift people and bring joy and laughter and camaraderie. And
absolutely.
It's what we're about here at Knockout Radio and beyond. So
yeah, for sure.
Thanks
Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Awesome,
we are done.
Awesome.
3 hours down.
Thank you.
2 weeks from now, we'll be at the Super Bowl in New Orleans. We've got some announcements next week. We are going to be giving away a e-bike during Super Bowl week. So details for that coming next week. Thanks, everybody.
Awesome. Good show, guys.